sight, forever seeing me, I'm always in your life. Is when I shine bright, was never a fan of the limelight. Look away from the moonlight, just a few steps closer, you'll no longer have to fight. You can find me in your mind, digging through the unmarked graves that took so long to find.
Ego, you have an ego, but like, we keep that shit in check. Like you said, man, I know when to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I know when to chill out. I know when to fucking play the role.
Yeah. Am I seeing shit too deep, or are y'all not seeing deep enough? Y'all are sticking to similar views, guess that makes me the chump. Majority rules runs.
What's up, folks? How y'all doing? We're live. Here we are. New episode. That was my boy Lost Habit. Shout out to him. And let's get to the point. We're here on episode 2, technically the first episode with a guest, with my boy Pat.
What it do?
Pat, how long have we been friends, man?
What, since 2013? 2013?
Yeah, I would have to say like the end of 2013. Like I had just graduated and had to get a job because my parents were like, "Hey, get the fuck out of the house, get a job."
No.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the sisters, they didn't have to. Like they could just stay and just chill. But man, I had to get a job immediately.
Man of the house.
That's for sure now, right? Cheers to the new world order. But yeah, we started like let's refresh some people. Like since Motormouth's gone, we've been friends, like I said, since 2013. So 5+ years, just going strong. Almost 10. Actually, it is 10.
Yeah, it's
That's
about
about
to be
it.
10.
Oh my god. That means my 10-year graduation's up, and I'm probably supposed to be in charge of that. I was part of like the senior men, like the big groups and
For
shit.
real?
Yeah, I did drag and everything in front of the school.
I mean, look, you probably just have to like. That's why you need to get back on Facebook. Get rid of the individuals who ain't on shit.
Facebook.
And, bro, I'm trying to tell you because they be on there and they be like, "Oh my god, who?" Because you can put like what school you went to, and they be really trying to look people up. Like I've looked people up from like high school I went to in Alabama and like reconnected with them, found out the individuals I was friends with, doing certain things or might have passed on, and it's like, oh man, but it's good to reconnect. And I mean, they tried to orchestrate our reunion. Then I don't, I hope the individuals that showed up like went, but I really didn't have enough detail, but I see they were trying to do it, and I was like, man, that's what's up. Like I really wish like more people would have been into it, but like my graduating class was too cool for school.
Too cool for school.
We were too cool for school. Like
I feel like that's every generation. Like especially when the reunion comes aroround, they're like, man, we're just too cool for it.
No, we were too cool for school when we were in school. Like ain't nobody finna go do that.
That ain't the most Florida statement I've ever heard.
Straight up, just like
ain't nobody gonna do that.
Ain't nobody finna go do that, bro. I'm straight.
So today's December 28th. It's the 28th.
Happy birthday, Denzel Washington.
Man, happy birthday, Stan Lee. He would have been 100 years old.
Hey.
He would have been 100 years old. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Like,
and how long has it been?
God, it was not even 2 years.
Damn,
not even a year. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Rest in peace, man. No, it's been a minute now. Let me fact check, but it's been a while. But
okay.
I think Betty White's been shorter than him. I think he went before Betty.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
they were up there.
Oh, and before the Queen for sure. Definitely before the Queen. So, but yes, Stanley, December 28th. A lot of shit happened in history.
A lot of things happened on December 28th.
There's a lot of some weird shit happened in history. Like we got Westminster Abbey was consecrated by King Edward, right? Let's see. Let's fact check myself. Let's go ahead and let's share a screen and Chrome tab it, and we'll go over to today's historical events. Blam! Look at that.
Westminster
Boom. Right there. Yeah, Westminster Abbey was consecrated. New church devoted to St. Peter the Apostle was built by Edward the Confessor. By the way, all the people that I work with and that know me, they're always asking me how do you know so much about history? I just go to that site every day and I just look up shit. If it catches my eye, I just I'll write it down. And I got encyclopedias back here, a ton of them. There's a bunch of books over here, and I'll look up the shit. I don't just Google it.
Tons of books in here.
Hey man, everybody's got their hobbies. I stopped drinking and I started reading books. But I look up the shit. I don't just Google it. Everybody's just oh, you can just Google all the information. But I was there's something about the hardback book of finding the information.
And even if you Google, anytime you're doing research, school at least taught us this. You need to get at least 3 or more sources? Was it 3 or 5?
I always did 3.
Okay. I knew it had to be I think it's 3 or more. Who remembers? I graduated in 05. Stop playing. And then when you go to college, the ones that I went to, you just focus on a certain thing, and then
right.
What you're getting your source from is the curriculum books that we gave you.
Right. and then of course there are definitely retractions that happen, and they go into the books and they're like, well, that was wrong, and or they'll add more information. because they'll definitely be gray on some subjects
Yeah.
for sure. But then like they'll be like, oh, and then this actually happened because of it. So and then they'll just like not tell you about a lot of history. Like there's a lot of history that we just don't know.
Yeah.
Like people just don't understand like how laws worked back in the day or why laws started to begin with.
Facts.
That 13th Amendment had a rough. I mean, it did free the slaves, but it didn't at the same time because they added that little butt for imprisonment, and then like the prison industry was like, "What's wrong with that?" Y'all need to watch that documentary on Netflix. It's called The 13th. That shit will change your full view. And also, like, fuck for-profit prisons. Like, why are we making money off of people? Like, that's straight up slavery. And also, there's another documentary that just came out. It's about the cobalt mining. That shit's crazy. Like, they in the Congo, like, you ever watch? You seen that new Black Adam movie?
No, I have not watched that Black Adam movie.
Well, there's like an opening scene in the Black Adam movie where there's a bunch of people in a pit and they're like digging through the pit trying to find this special, powerful mineral, eternium, and they're like digging at their hands. Well, if you go to the Congo, you can see real children today doing that. Hundreds of thousands of people just thousands of people just digging in their hands and feet, breathing in cobalt. They're like got babies on their back and shit, just digging up cobalt. And 100% of everything we use, I want to say 100%, like 99% of the shit we use has cobalt in it. These microphones, like that shit's coming from like a shitty place.
The thing they said that makes certain electronics that we have work or whatever.
Yeah, cobalt's in everything.
I vaguely remember somebody mentioning that, but I'm like,
right,
that's crazy.
So here's another thing. Like we're gonna go like, hey, let's go back to on this day. Bam. Let's go ahead and let's share that screen again. Shouldn't have closed it, but that's the point of being a live show. Is we pull shit up, we look shit up.
Facts. Gotta look stuff up, especially when you're on the internet. No count.
Right. All right. So let's go ahead to today's historical events. What else we got? What else happened? Oh, this one was actually pretty interesting. You actually brought this one up to me, and then I had to like look back at it. I was like, maybe I glossed right back. The Galileo.
Mm-hmm.
So what was he doing? What did he find? And then he didn't even realize he found it.
Yeah, he found Neptune, and originally it was just a fixed star. Didn't even realize it was a planet. You know what I mean? Until further study. But he wrote it down. He recorded it, and upon further study, they realized it's an actual planet and not just a fixed star. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's very interesting. Like
now my brain goes, I'm thinking about the time before Galileo, and they just thought that son of a bitch was a star.
Nah, moving. I mean, what, like the North Star or something in comparison? Because I
think they just thought like it was a bright ass star. They thought it was a star in the sky, and
facts.
So my brain's thinking like now, like the stuff that we call stars, and now we're like zooming in and like, oh, that's a galaxy. That's actually another planet. That's like this is what we're seeing. And like it really shows like once you actually start zooming in on a subject, you'll find the more detail in the fine print. It may look like a blank sheet of paper, but then when you zoom in, you can see all the fibers of like the wood that made the paper. So it's like almost like a Fibonacci type thing. Like when you like go to smaller and get bigger and type shit.
Facts. It's a whole nother. You see everything else, all the small details that's in it.
And like the crazy thing is that like once you figure out geometry and you start like drawing it out, and like you may have that fixed star, and then you're like it goes further out, so you can do the math coming back. And we just proved it like a few months ago when we launched a satellite out of a moving asteroid. That means we figured out the math so perfectly to launch something from this planet and smack something that's also moving. We figured out that math. Like what the fuck? Humans are crazy. And the fact that they don't think we built the pyramids and it had to be aliens, I think you're crazy. Because they had arithmetic back then. They could figure out the math.
Facts.
Like like the pyramid.
I mean, you got to think they were stronger, taller, more physically fit back then. Like
I want to say all that. They didn't have very good nutrition, man. They were dying left and right.
Like they were dying because the ones that were dying were weak. Straight up.
That man pulled out the the Darwinian view right there. Oh shit, we lost the camera. Oh shit. See, that's the thing about a Garth cast is sometimes you'll just lose shit. Oh, the camera's working on the camera end, but it's not working on the stream. And we're back. Like I said, folks, it would not be a Garth cast without some type of mess up.
Cast.
The Garth World cast. Yeah. So, all right. Stop sharing. Bring it back to us. Just back to us. What's up, folks? How y'all doing today? Let us know. Let us know you're here. Talk to us. There is a chat. You can talk to us. We will respond.
There's 3 people. Check them out.
Or we'll try to respond. Good morning.
Oh, they have been talking.
Yeah, see. Hey, listen, don't call me out on my flaws, man. He's like, they have been talking like shit.
Happy birthday to her dad. Okay,
Oh,
shout
shit.
out.
Oh, just so Stanley, my cousin's dad, and Denzel Washington. Holy shit. Or is your dad Denzel? Is that what she's saying? She's like, my dad's Denzel. I know my aunt wishes it was Denzel.
Yo, what's good? Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Who? That boy.
Oh man. So yeah, we played some Lost Habit at the start. Now Lost Habit, me and him go way back. We were talking about moving to Vegas and getting into some craziness there and all those people there. And I've been debating on it. I don't know. I may like go visit a few times and like do a podcast. I don't know about uprooting right now because I got the studio and we bussing.
Facts though.
Hey, what? So I just got thrown the fuck off. So what's one of the other things you brought up? Because you actually did some research.
Yeah, man. Let me stop playing. Let me stop
Well,
acting like I ain't got the paper. You feel me?
I know you actually did some research. Like,
Yeah,
you're like,
no
yeah,
cap.
man,
Yeah,
I'm in this.
I went in. I made the list, like roughly. You feel me? Like, shout out to the Capricorns. Just they, you know what I'm saying? They turning up. They doing their thing. They busting. You know what I'm saying? We won't even trip on it. But one thing, you know, because 904 Florida 1st. You feel me? So it's just like this day, the Second Seminole War between the U.S. and the natives begins. Dade Massacre in Sumter County, Florida. You know, Seminoles, they killed nearly 110 Army troops, led by Major Francis Langhorne Dade. You feel me? Like, major.
What the fuck?
Major. You know what I'm saying? Like,
drop some knowledge on us right
like
there.
sometimes I'll look up like Florida history because it's wild. And low key, like, especially like, okay, so I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, somebody mentioned like, the football teams, especially the colleges, the mascot is supposed to embody something from the state and usually supposed to be something dangerous. So you got like fighting gators, you got hurricanes, and you got Seminoles. And then it's like, so you look up stuff and it's like, yo, hurricanes, that's some natural stuff. You feel me? Gators, it's animals, you know what I'm saying? But then you look up the Seminoles and it's like, what is this? And it's like, yo, they real deal have like a really rich history here in Florida. Even how the different tribes coming together and, even bringing in some slaves and whomever, willing to just coexist with them and fight off. So I'm just like, I'm like, bro, that's crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? When I seen that, I was like, bro, on this day, them boys went in.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sumter County. You feel me? Straight up.
Here's another crazy thing that happened on this day that we go deep into history. We're going to go deep into history. If we want to talk like kind of like how things kind of like are in circles, King Herod. This is actually the feast day of the Innocents.
I didn't know you was finna go that deep.
I'm
that
going
boy said King
deep.
Herod. Oh my goodness.
I'm going in deep. The feast day, the original, like the Catholic feast day, is the Innocents, and it was basically like he just like started killing all the babies, like just killing them because like he got word that there was going to be a king born, a new king born, and he was just like kill him. So supposedly he was like over like let's see, I got it right here. I pulled it up because I was like, what? I was like December, because I like I'll have like all the feast days and shit. Like I have all the you can't really see it, but yeah, I have all the feast days and shit pulled up. So like I can
Not all the feast days.
So yeah, it's like the Holy Innocents, and it said 14,000 boys. 14,000 boys and over 64,000 medieval Arthurs and shit like that. The man was just nuking people. Just nuking people. Now they have gone back and try to say that maybe the number is smaller because Bethlehem was a small town. So there's some like the scholars are trying to go back and say like
It seems like you went through more than just one town.
yeah, I mean 14,000
Facts.
boys.
You definitely went through more than one town.
But then again, I think the numbers like in old text like that represent something else. Like I think there's like more symbology to the numbers, and we just don't know that yet. Kind of like if you plug them into like a math problem, like
That is true.
just like the 72 like virgins. There's 72 lines of a page in a Bible. There's the 72 years of a person's average lifespan. The 72 life cycles.
They do like to hide stuff like that.
Yeah, and like once you start getting into like that sacred geometry and stuff like that, and you start like noticing the numbers, then you like when I do all the research and shit, I'm also noticing the numbers. So I'm taking like double notes. And, like I look like a madman in some of my journals, and for real, this man right here, I'm gonna go ahead and share this screen, and we'll talk about this. Is Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock, and I'm actually going to this Cosmin in June. It's be an exciting event. You're gonna listen to these of course these are the four main. I've listened to a few of Jimmy Corsetti's. He's I believe he does the comment research impact group for like the Young Dryas event and stuff like that. So when the comets come down and smash, he does some of that. By the way, this is real layman's terms, folks. Like we just chilling and talking about shit. But Graham Hancock, everybody knows about him. He's got the Netflix show out. I got one of his books here for Fingerprint of the Gods that I've read several times. And Jana James, she's big in social media and does like kind of like a podcast like this, but she does a little bit more serious. And
what is that? Johanna?
I say Johanna.
Johanna.
Yeah. And then, of course, like he did the Halloween lecture. I got to participate in that, and that was really cool. And you get to find out how it's like rooted in like a comet that came down and like shattered into pieces and like rained down on Earth and like caused a Hallows Eve. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like all the like because everywhere you go, they have a remembrance of the dead. Everywhere you go, and it's always around Halloween. So it's like, why are all these events connected? If you go back further enough, it's because there's an event in the sky that happened that they all witnessed around that time. Sacred geometry, like I was saying, I go to I say I go, but I attend a ton of these live. I love watching these and like drawing out the shit with them and stuff like that. Take the money, spend it. All you have to do is pay. Like I paid one time, and he's got like it's a 10-hour lecture. It's 10 hours, so it's like. And like,
you don't have to watch it all at one time, do you?
No. Okay. No, once you buy it, you can watch it. And like I bought the first one I bought had like a kit of all the drawing utensils.
Oh, so it's almost like a book or something you purchase it and then it's yours and you can refer back to it and stuff.
And then like they give you all the tools of how to draw the circles and all the geometry and shit. Like they give you everything. So it's a pretty dope deal.
That's pretty dope. What is that?
Sacred geometry on HowTube. It's pretty dope. And it's all through Amazon, so like all the stuff.
HowTube.
Yeah, HowTube. HowTube is pretty dope.
Is that a real thing?
What's up?
HowTube. That's real.
Yeah, it's like an education platform where like they stream like live lectures and stuff like that, and so it's really awesome.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, that's where I go to a lot of my lectures and stuff.
Kind of just blew my mind.
Definitely Cosmographia. That's his podcast. Shout out to that podcast. I listen to it a lot. Sacred Geometry video on demand. Like I said, it's on demand. So once you buy it, you watch it. He's been on Joe Rogan. Everybody knows that. Just like Graham Hancock. And we're going to get it and stop this event. And the reason I love looking that stuff up is because I have this gut feeling that we're due for something, man. And like, because we've all entered a new world order. Like, in a way, I mean, I've stepped up and kind of have to fill my father's shoes in kind of a way. But I mean, I'll never be him, but I'm gonna have to, in some respect, have to be the person that my sisters look up to, and yeah, and I know I'm gonna have to smoke meats because no one else in my family knows how to use a smoker like my dad. So
You gotta
I know I
have that.
definitely got to take that role. But you also entered a new world order of your own, man.
Yeah, man, shoot. Now I'm actually a dad, so and that's been fun. It's really not been as crazy as most people have been like telling you about, oh, you're not gonna. The only thing that I can say is maybe the sleep schedule has changed up, but I mean,
I think that's the number one that everybody's like, man, the
that
sleep's gone, man.
but that's it. People are like, oh, get ready to spend money on diapers. And it's like, bro, it's really not that crazy. Wives, it's really not that crazy. Their clothes, like, thank God both of us have a good support system. Shout out to our support systems. They know who they are. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Right.
Because,
Takes a village.
it really does. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't have a village. A lot of people don't even have a support system. So just, thankful to God for real that we got that. So, I mean, everything's been smooth. Baby's super chill too. So shout out to the baby. Baby 3.
Baby 3.
Baby 3. You know what I mean? Straight up.
And it's not the third baby. It's the first baby. It's just the third.
Yeah, he is the third. You know what I mean? So definitely gonna step up to the plate and be that guy. Support my man's and whatever he's gonna do. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to first. Looking ready to save my money so I can spend my money on frivolous activities that they want to try.
I'm ready to be the uncle that spoils them with comic books and toys and everything, and also teaches them how to be a nerd.
Like, he's
because that's what we do with my sister's kid too. They don't realize like there's gonna be play dates. There's gonna be like I'm taking them to like comic book conventions. Like these kids are gonna get spoiled.
Speaking of, my girl got me an Akatsuki robe.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I was gonna post it, but I was like, nah, I'm not.
Boy, let me tell you, if it wasn't as cold today, I would have worn it.
Right?
Straight up. Like, bro, I'm gonna get, and he already has him a small outfit, so I'm definitely gonna get her one.
Right.
And I've always wanted to go to a comic like convention or whatever, so I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get you yours, and we're going. Like, straight up, we're going. Like, I know there's one in Orlando and in Tampa, so I'm like,
Jacksonville Collective Con, man.
Really?
There's one here.
There's one in Jacksonville?
Collective Con, my brother. I've gone to several times. That's why I've worn this.
Several?
But yeah. I met the guy from, you ever watched Gotham on Fox?
Yes.
You know the Penguin?
Yeah.
I met him. Now, he played my favorite character in the movie Accepted. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that with Jay Baruchel. No, not Jay Baruchel, sorry. But the movie Accepted, Jonah Hill's in it. It's where he got his famous line of "Ask me about my wiener."
That's Penguin?
No. That's Jonah Hill. That's Jonah Hill.
Okay.
He's in that movie though. He's the guy who can't sit still. He's the blonde-haired guy who goes bouncing around to all the different classes, and he's got ADHD. He's just going everywhere. He's just all over. I feel like
I've seen that because I have seen him in other things, and he is like that.
ADHD kid, and that's what I remembered him from. I actually brought a copy of the movie Accepted for him to sign, even though he was there for the Penguin. And by the way, I was dressed as the Joker, like full on dressed as the Joker, purple suit, the pale skin. I had dyed my hair green. Tyler tried to fire me from Jersey Mice because I dyed it green, but I had the full outfit on, like, and I'm talking to him and I'm having him sign this, and he actually like stopped for a minute and he was like, "This was my first film, my first big film." And I was like, and it's one of my favorites. You're one of my favorite characters. I love the way his name was Abernathy Dunlap. Like, I loved like the way he portrayed his character. And he was like, "How would you like to go get coffee after this?" And we went and got coffee with that man after Collective Con. And it was actually one of the first conventions my dad went to with me. And my dad was also dressed up too. So it was like two Jokers with
That's
Penguin
fire.
in a coffee shop. It was actually pretty cool. And like he signed like a Funko Pop figure that I have and all that. So, and that was here in Jacksonville, Collective Con, man. Like Collective Con should be your first one you get to.
That's
For
fire.
sure,
When is
yeah.
it?
I think it's gonna be in June. Last one I think
gotta-
was in March.
I gotta look it up, man. I definitely hit that up for sure.
Yeah, and then like we got Wasabi Con, which is another one that happens in Jacksonville. There's a ton of comic book conventions that are
Is
just
that
straight
like
comics.
anime specific?
Yes,
Okay, 'cause
Wasabi is definitely.
didn't want to be that guy,
Yeah,
but
that-
you did say Wasabi. So
Yeah,
I'm
Wasabi Con is definitely for sure. Mostly cosplayers and anime and like stuff like that. My friends go to that one. They're big cosplayers. Shout out to Jordan and Bridget, Madam Horror on Instagram, and LaFair on Instagram as well. I believe she also has an OnlyFans, so check that link in her bio.
I'm about to say, I love how you said that. LaFair? Like, everybody's like,
like,
you
I ha-
spelled that like.
It's LAV, like FARE. Like, I'm trying to remember it exactly off the top of my head, but Bridget, she's amazing. She's got like I said, she's got OnlyFans. Check her out. Link in the bio. Support creators no matter what they do. They're being safe. That's all we ask
I'm
for.
gonna get me an OnlyFans. I'm gonna just cook though.
Just cook. I mean, OnlyFans.
I've been seeing people just be on it. Everybody on OnlyFans doesn't just do the freaky stuff. Like,
Right.
some people really be on there just doing regular, everyday stuff, and it's like, bruh, people paying for this, and that's like, bruh, get up out of here, man.
Well, it was originally supposed to replace. It was supposed to replace Patreon because Patreon was taking such a big cut out of people's money. Patreon, it's like it's like a place where you like pay some money and then you like a creator will make something for you and like they make content. Like, say if I had one, I can make it like you get a behind the scenes of me and Pat chilling like after the show.
Okay.
And there's like a secret podcast just for them. Patreon was that. So OnlyFans was replacing that as a place for people, for their fans.
Okay.
To buy content and see other things in their
Oh,
life.
so
it was
people
not
just perverted it.
Well, it wasn't people perverted it. What happened is Pornhub had a huge purge. Pornhub had a huge purge of all their amateur content, unverified content. So they took all of it down. They lost everything. They lost all this shit. And so OnlyFans had an influx because all these amateurs wanted to keep putting their content out because they were getting paid from Pornhub. So they just went to OnlyFans.
That's
And
great. And
that's
people really subscribe and pay their money to watch other people.
Right, for sure.
When it's on the internet for free.
When it's on the internet for free. But shout out to little Jess. She's also got one. There's a link in her bio for sure because we like creators and we want them to make money. If they're doing it and they're being safe, that's all we ask for. Mama's making money. That's the way. I mean, hey, we don't say nothing about strippers when we go to Scores. By the way, if you don't know, that's an old school Jacksonville site. I've never really been. I've only been to the one strip club I've been here is gone. It was House of Dolls, and it was right here at the end of this road.
Dead.
Right here at the end of this road in my neighborhood. I walked in as a 17-year-old little boy. Walked in and went, poof, oh, Jesus.
17.
I was like, what is this? It was not good. It was not
I
good.
don't think I went to the strip club until I was like maybe like 28 or maybe 30 or something. Like,
Oh, wait. Sorry. The second time I went, I was 22 and I was dropping off Chris because it was a girl I worked with. I was dropping her off at the club
okay.
because she was working there.
Well,
And
see,
was
I
down in
dropped
Orlando.
somebody off to the
Like,
strip
maybe-
club, but I didn't go in. Like,
Well, I mean, I went in, got a drink,
oh,
and then walked out. It was like I had to walk her in and talk to the guys because I was like doing like work for Mike and shit. So like I had
Okay.
to like show
all right.
face.
Yeah, so okay.
Hello, I got her here safely. Let Mike know that she's here. See, so because that's how he'd check in on you. Is like he would have like his people like, hey, did you see this
Check
guy
on you.
come?
That's real pimpish. I kind of like that. I understand the
It's definitely
undertone.
because his girls.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he kept them in a coop in a closet.
Just the fact that you called them his girls.
Coop in a
like,
closet.
In a coop in the closet.
In a coop. I mean, literally, you go into the master bedroom. You go into the master bedroom of this dude's house, man. There's a closet, and in that closet, there's a bunch of bunk beds. That's where the bitches stay.
All I can think about is that man R. Kelly telling myself, "Come on, man, look at me. You think I'm finna have some women locked up in the basement?"
They had him in a closet that only he could get to. It was only in his room. Only the bitches were allowed to sleep in that closet.
Okay, so You have a closet.
I say females. Sorry.
You have
Some
a
of them are
closet
bitches.
that only you can access in your room that you have women in.
Yep.
Do you let the women out?
I mean, he does, yeah,
Okay. Are they allowed out the room?
for sure. Are they getting paid? No.
Are they allowed out the house?
If they got a car, 100%. None of them did. Well, sorry, no, 3 of them did. That's how they got to leave.
I'm about to say
Shout out to
because
them. They finally escaped.
I'm about to say because that sounds like it's once again, it sounds very pimpish.
I mean,
That sounds like some strong hand
I
pimping.
mean,
I'm not even gonna play
the veterans
like,
party, they just give out free blowjobs. So I mean, it sounded
come
pretty.
on, man, that's crazy. And then
By the way, YouTube, I know you're not going to monetize this. I make my own money.
boom.
I just wanted to say that. He said, "No, YouTube's like, we can't monetize this. You said OnlyFans."
Oh man, for real, that's
Yeah,
how?
that's like as soon as you say that word, it's like,
Really?
they hate it. Sorry, I just yelled straight to that mic. But speaking of anime conventions, let's get back to
Yeah,
where
let's get
we
back
were.
to something,
back,
less.
back to anime conventions and about yeah, the robes and shit. But shout out to Fortnite. Shout out to Fortnite and keeping our friendship like really alive.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, man.
Like
Look.
Fortnite has kept a lot of friendships alive.
Look, the game is the game. I enjoy playing it. You know what I mean. It's funny to me when I go around people and the kids and they're like, "Oh, you still play Fortnite?" And it's like, yeah. And then it's like, I'll probably pull back up. You see them again in like 3-4 days. Oh man, I got back on. Did you see they had this? Did you see they had that? I'm like, yeah, I play the game.
I play it regularly.
I play it regularly. Like, but I've always been that type. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I grew up where you used to have to boom, slam it in. So
Slam
it's
it
like,
in.
look, I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna play this game and we're gonna play this game. Because I don't got time to be switching and swapping. Like, we might do that if we really don't like it, but you find the game, you play the game, you enjoy the game.
You know what
Like,
you know what the worst thing was? Losing a fucking memory card. Kids today don't know.
bro,
Kids
honestly,
today don't know.
if they remember when we didn't have a memory card and you just have to turn the TV off and leave the game system on, then you'd appreciate the
You had
memory
it on
card.
pause because
Look,
you didn't want to rage quit.
definitely had it on. We gotta go. Like, no, I'm doing
cramp.
stuff. Like, we gotta go. Like, pause. You better not leave that TV on.
Oh shit.
Leave the TV on. Click. Leave the game system on.
Right.
I'll be back. Like,
And like the reason I bring up Fortnite and all like the crazy, like they do all these crazy collabs. I mean, like especially like comic books. That's been the craziest thing.
They've
like,
been going hard with the comic books, and like shout out to them because now I'm looking at comic books and it's like at least you know a lot about comic books. So it's like,
oh yeah, what do we got back there?
Because I'm like, what's this character and why are they here? And then you told me about the Zero War, and I'm like, oh, so there's an actual storyline to it. And I mean, it kind of makes it more interesting as you like mess with it for real. Because it's like, oh, okay, you can see it like playing out when you're playing the game. Other people are like, oh, just running up trying to get kills. But it's like, did you notice that this building's not here anymore? Like.
And of course, if you guys are going anywhere to get comics, that's Gotham City Limit.
You got to.
Gotham City Limit is the best place because, like, Ben, shout out to this guy right here. He's got like his own Gotham City Limit exclusive comic books that you can only get at Gotham City Limit. Like, shout out to my cousin in the chat. She picked out a few. She got a bunch of them as well. I got her invested into this. Like we going in. Like that Goblin Queen is one of my favorites that they did. Like this one right here, that Goblin Queen. Like that is like an homage to like when the Hobgoblin suit got ripped. Like so awesome. He did like the deals for summer. He does his waffles because you can't do raffles because that's gambling, and we don't gamble here.
I definitely don't gamble.
We don't gamble here, so it's waffling. So we waffle off a bunch of stuff, and like he does like a big waffle every week of comic books. like a bunch of incentive covers, like these back here. Like if you go to give you a little turn, like look at that, the double
These bad
comic.
boys.
You got the Batman and the Joker, and I love this style. It reminds me of one of my favorite comics. We can go to turn back. One of my favorite comics was Red Rain, and Batman fought Dracula.
Really?
Yeah. He fights Dracula, and Dracula bites Batman and turns him into a fucking vampire. And
Nice.
it's a Batman vampire fighting Dracula. And it's an old school comic. Batman ends up killing Dracula. He like beats him up, that like fly into the sky, like he knocks over this like telephone pole and it snaps, and like the wood is sitting up like a spike. And Batman slams his bitch ass, just blap, and like it stakes him. But guess what? He thought all the vampires would be cured because of it. But guess who becomes the new king vampire?
Batman.
Batman.
You killed the king. You killed the head. You are now the king.
Right.
Vampire push.
It's just like he's the king. So
Straight up.
so like that style like is done in the same, like that comic was done in the same as Red Rain, and it's one of my favorite Batmans. So now I always pick that shit up. And
I look, be liking when the artist signed the front of the cover. It's like it just seems so much more.
right. I think they're put away, and my Joker went down at the bottom, but I got some actual signed Capullo's Joker covers that are Greg Capullo. He is a great comic book artist, and I also got some with Tyler Kirkham, and I believe hopefully we're gonna have Ben on the podcast pretty soon.
Hey,
Shout out to Ben from the Gotham City Limit. We're gonna have him,
Ben.
and I'm gonna hopefully like use him to like get some comic book artists on the show too. Maybe
Ben's got big energy, man. I like Ben's energy. For real.
Ben's, yeah, he goes hard. He goes hard in the motherfucking paint.
Ben, you could definitely bring Ben to the cookout.
We gotta bring Ben to the cookout. All right, guys. Well, this has been a fantastic podcast, man.
Definitely.
Just chilling, talking. We talked about history. We talked about bitches in a coop. We talked about
Look. That's I wasn't talking about. I was inquiring about, how everything was going on. Oh, you got your boys, Swishers, you know what I mean? Jacksonville base, made in Jacksonville. Put those back up.
Shout out to Lil Duval. Glad he's recovering. I just had to say that. We were talking about Jacksonville. And
What happened to Lil Duval?
Oh, he like got hit real bad. Like he's got bars in his legs now and shit.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I
He
didn't
got
know that.
fucked. He got fucked up. Yeah, but
He got hit by a car or something?
I don't know if he like wrecked his
Oh, it was an accident.
like he wrecked his ATV, or someone hit him on his ATV. Like it was bad. He was in a wheelchair for a while. He's got like bars in his femurs and shit.
Man, speedy recovery.
He's
Lil
a
Duval.
cyborg right now, but he's been hopping around.
Man,
he was
like,
at the Jazz game most recently.
He gonna bounce back, man.
Oh, yeah,
he got that Duval energy. He's gonna bounce back. Man.
He's got that money.
He definitely got, you know what I'm saying, got a little stash. You know what I'm saying?
So all he's gonna do is go down to Mexico and get some stem cells. He'll be right.
No, why you always talking about stuff?
I mean, hey, I'm just saying, like you gotta get the stem cells. You gotta get it right. You gotta be healthy. You gotta be healthy.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know about that.
Alrighty, folks, but this has been real. This has been live from the 904. That's what we're gonna be calling the podcast. Like when I re-upload it, it's gonna be live from the 904. Not live from the 904, because that is a podcast and it's really good. It's gonna be live from the 904.
The THE.
The not DA.
Say the whole word like this.
Enunciate.
Straight up.
But no, it's gonna be real. But yeah, man, thank you for being on. Shout out to Lost Habit
You
for.
already know, man.
I got the music. He didn't really tell me I could, but I did. So if he gets upset, I love you, man, and I just want people to listen to your music. So love you.
Support you.
And I'm going to be doing that every week. I'm going to be like playing something on there. I'm also going to have a spot on the website where people can see like creators of the week and shit like that. They can see that shit. So go to garsworlds.com. That is Garth Worlds. GarthWorlds.com. Garth Worlds. And ladies and gentlemen, that's been the show. Pat, thank you for coming on, man.
You already know.
Thank you.
Duval.